Imagine the weight of silence in a room thick with unspoken betrayals. The kind that simmers like a storm cloud over the Rocky Mountains. It was at that Sunday dinner table in Aurora, Colorado, where the fork in my hand felt like a weapon, and my mother's words sliced through the air like a knife she'd been sharpening for years. "You've never really helped this family, Emily," she said, her voice laced with that familiar mix of pity and accusation, as if I were the stranger who'd wandered in uninvited. I paused, my knife hovering over the overcooked pot roast, and met her eyes with a calm that belied the fury building inside me. "Is that so, Mom? What about the $47,000 I've quietly funneled into your accounts over the last 3 years?" The words hung there, heavy and final, turning the room into a vacuum where no one dared breathe. Forks clattered, faces paled, and in that moment, the facade of our fractured family shattered like cheap glass. My name is Emily Hayes, 32, an accountant at Summit Financial Group in downtown Denver, where I crunch numbers for high-net-worth clients in a sleek office tower that overlooks the city's sprawl. It's a job that demands precision, the kind I've honed to shield myself from the chaos I left behind. My studio apartment in Lodo is modest, a single room with exposed brick walls that echo my footsteps at night. A reliable Honda Civic parked in the garage below. Paid off last year after meticulous budgeting. No partner. No children. Just me and my ledgers, tracking every penny like a lifeline. Colleagues tease about setting me up on dates, but I deflect with a laugh. How do you explain that trust is a luxury you can't afford when your own blood has bled you dry? My family squats in the shadows of suburbia, in a faded ranch-style house in Aurora with a sagging fence and a driveway cracked like old skin. My mother, Linda, 58, clings to her faded charm. The type that draws sympathy from strangers but exhaustion from those who know her. She's hitched to her third husband, Mike, a handyman whose toolbox gathers dust while he chases get-rich-quick schemes at the local bar. Then there's my half-brother, Ryan, 27. From one of Mom's earlier misadventures, a perpetual adolescent drifting through dead-end jobs, from warehouse gigs to fast food shifts. Always one excuse away from quitting. Mom coddles him like a fragile heirloom, whispering justifications for his every stumble, while Mike grunts approvals between sips of cheap whiskey. I'm the outlier, the one who clawed her way through community college on scholarships and night shifts, emerging with a degree and a determination to never beg. But that success painted a target on my back. I became their invisible crutch, the reliable fix for their endless messes. It began innocently enough, a $50 Venmo for, just until payday, Mom would text. Her messages dotted with heart emojis that felt like hooks. I was 26 then, green in my first real job, convinced that family meant sacrifice. But those drips turned into floods, and before I knew it, I was drowning in their debts while they floated on my efforts. The scars run deep, etched in bank statements I review alone at midnight. The glow of my laptop screen illuminating the hollow ache in my chest. Every transfer was a quiet betrayal of my own dreams, postponed vacations, a stalled savings for a home, nights scrimping on meals to cover their luxuries. They never asked about my burdens, never paused to wonder if their emergencies were carving holes in my life. To them, I was Emily the fixer, always there with a wire transfer, never expecting gratitude because, as Mom would say, that's what family does. But family shouldn't feel like a chain around your neck, tightening with each plea. The first major wound came 4 years back, right after Thanksgiving. Mom's call shattered the quiet of my apartment at 2 a.m. Her sobs garbled through the line, the bank's foreclosing on the house. "Emily, $12,000 in back mortgage, we hid it from you. But it's real now." I drove through sleeting rain, arriving to find her huddled over red-stamped notices, Mike snoring in the recliner oblivious. We sorted the chaos until dawn. And I drained my savings to cover it, my hands shaking as I authorized the payment. "This changes everything," she promised, tears streaking her makeup. "We'll repay you." But weeks later, I spotted her new coat on Facebook, tagged with blessed. And the promise evaporated like morning fog. The hurt festered, a silent poison I swallowed to keep the peace. Then came Ryan's crisis. 2 years ago. His voice cracking over the phone from a tow yard. "They're taking my pickup. Sis, $15, 000 owed. And I need it for that construction job I lined up." Lies. Of course, the job was another mirage. I cashed out stocks, took the tax hit, and wired the funds. My stomach twisting as I imagined his relief. He texted a thumbs-up emoji. Nothing more. While I reworked my budget to absorb the loss. Instagram betrayed him soon after photos from a Vegas weekend, grinning with buddies over slot machines. The betrayal stung like salt in an open wound. But I stayed silent, convincing myself it was love, not enablement. The deepest cut was last year, when Mike's business imploded in a haze of unpaid vendors and shady loans. "Just co-sign this consolidation loan." Emily, Mom, begged over diner coffee, her eyes wide with feigned desperation. $20,000, we'll handle the payments. Against every instinct, I signed, tying my pristine credit to their sinking ship. Payments started, then sputtered with excuses, slow season, unexpected bills. By month 3, I was footing it all. My credit score dipping while they upgraded their TV. The resentment built like pressure in a fault line. Quiet but inevitable. I documented everything in a hidden spreadsheet. Rows of debits color-coded by deceit, red for Mom's essentials, blue for Ryan's opportunities, green for Mike's investments. The total climbed to $47,000. A sum that could have bought my independence outright. But the real toll was emotional, the isolation of being the strong one, the one who never complained, whose pain went unseen. I'd lie awake, replaying their casual dismissals, wondering when my role shifted from daughter to debtor. The invitation to that fateful dinner pinged my phone midweek. "Family gathering Sunday. Ryan's got big news. Come celebrate." The exclamation point screamed obligation. But the guilt, that ingrained pull of blood ties, drew me in. I arrived early, noting Mike's new truck tires gleaming in the drive. A luxury amid their supposed struggles. Mom's hug was perfunctory, her smile strained. "You look exhausted. Dear, work got you down." Inside, the house reeked of forced normalcy, pot roast simmering. The table set with mismatched plates. Ryan sprawled on the couch, thumbing his phone, barely grunting hello. Mike clapped my back too hard, his breath sour with beer. We sat, the tension coiling like a spring. Mom announced Ryan's achievement, a vague certification in auto repair. No job in sight. Congratulations flowed mechanically. But the air thickened. Then, her words, "You've never really helped this family." The accusation landed like a slap, igniting the fuse I'd buried deep. My smile was razor-sharp as I dropped the $47,000 truth. Watching their worlds crumble. Mom's face drained of color, Mike sputtered, Ryan froze. The silence was my first taste of power, born from years of swallowed hurt. Driving home, rage coursed through me, not explosive yet, but a steady burn. That night, I pored over records, the spreadsheet a map of my exploitation. Sleep evaded me instead. Visions of their ingratitude fueled a resolve I'd never known. But the real banger came Tuesday, Mom's call. Voice quivering with fabricated fear. "Mike's having heart issues, tests needed. But insurance falls short. $15,000. Emily. For the specialist." The lie was blatant. her pauses too rehearsed. Suspicion nod, I unannounced visit confirmed it. Creeping through their hall, I overheard her and Ryan plotting, she's got no spine, guilt always works. Fake docs from my friend at the hospital, recording every word. My heart pounded. But the betrayal crystallized my pain into purpose. They saw me as prey, not kin. The recording was my shield. Their words a noose of their own making. I played along, feigning concern while dismantling ties. At the bank, I transferred the $20,000 loan to Ryan, the cosigner they'd overlooked. My lawyer, Karen, drafted protections, cease and desist. Fraud warnings. Passwords changed. Autopays canceled. Each step severed a thread of their hold. Mom's texts escalated, pleading for the surgery, but I held firm. The silence my weapon. She pounded my door Saturday, wailing about Mike's imminent death, her performance pathetic now. I recorded that too. Evidence stacking like bricks in a wall. The calm before the storm enveloped me. Yoga classes, solo coffees, small freedoms tasting sweeter without their shadows. Thursday's reconciliation dinner was their trap. But I walked in armed. The table groaned under chicken and pretense, Mom in her Sunday best. Mike feigning frailty. Ryan avoiding eyes. The loan transfer sparked first outrage. Denials. I played the recording. Their voices echoing treachery. She's soft, always falls for it. Faces contorted in horror, Mom's mask shattered. Venom spilling. How dare you spy? The envelope hit the table. Spreadsheets. Proofs. Legal threats. $47,000, I said. Voice steady. And you call it nothing. The explosion was cathartic, Mom's shrieks of ungrateful, Ryan's pleas about the loan. Mike's bluster about legality. I stood, keyring in hand, dropping their house key like a mic. The banks closed. Walking out. Their final barbs, you'll crawl back, bounced off me. In the car, lightness flooded in. The price of freedom paid in full. Blocks flew. Numbers changed. Harassment followed. Lobby scenes at work. Relative interventions, but each faded under legal weight. Months later, my new condo in Cherry Creek symbolized rebirth, views untainted, savings intact. A promotion came. Mental space freed from their chaos. Sarah's last update, a shredded letter of guilt from Mom, blaming me for Ryan's repossession. I felt void, not triumph. Just release. The betrayal's cost was steep, scarring my trust forever. But the silence now? It's peace. Hard-won and priceless. In Denver's glow, I raise a glass to the woman who emerged from the ashes, not vengeful, but vigilant. Knowing some bonds are best broken.